Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Ian Hink.
Hello.
And Brandon Jones.
Hello.
Whoa.
The time has come.
Hello.
Good song. Good song. Jones or Blood, you got a good hello song?
Sorry.
Hello from the
Blood,
That was
what
a
is
lot
your
more cheerful than she sings it.
constant vocal fry she's got.
what does that mean?
She's
Vocal
pushing too
fry.
hard.
Oh.
I've got.
Ian, I don't like when people criticize the singing of very popular singers.
I'm not criticizing her singing. I'm just saying that she's hurting herself.
That's what Christina Aguilera is hurting herself. That's what I hear. You know
I'm
what
not
I
sure
mean?
about her.
That's what people say. It's just like she's hurting herself.
Like Jennifer Lawrence.
What?
Constantly like vocal fry.
Jennifer Lawrence is an actor.
She uses her voice.
So what do you mean? She's hurting her throat with the way that she acts?
Yes, yeah, screaming all the time.
Daniel Bloodworth, what is your goal this week?
My goal, I will become King Kong whenever I hear an aircraft fly over the building.
Oh, okay. SWAT. You'll be enraged and,
And
become...
I will enrage and swat at the aircraft.
Great.
I can only win if I don't miss any aircraft and I hit at least 3. Or swat at least 3, because obviously I can't
Got
hit
it.
them.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And then you will transform back into Daniel Bloodworth.
Yeah.
Got it. Ian Hink, what is your goal this week?
I want to look at the camera and go like this, tap my nose twice without any one of you noticing.
Without any of us noticing.
Yeah.
Good luck, dude.
No, it's going to be hard.
Jones is very observant.
Yeah.
Jones is
very
ready to go.
Brandon's ready.
Jones, what is your goal this week?
To not bring up Animal Crossing on Switch.
I don't want you to do that goal because of one of the games we're going to talk about.
That game is not on Switch. It's
Okay.
It's a game for mobile.
Okay, Jones.
There's no need for me to be like, it's you know.
It's
You,
one of
you
those
know what
times-
I'm. You know what I'm.
I think you are actively tanking my podcast.
I'm just showing some restraint. Just keeping it positive.
My goal this week is to not think about ghosts.
I'm thinking about it now.
Good luck.
That's
I'm
all
not.
I'm thinking about.
Let's do corrections. Begin corrections music, please. Video games are only $60 only in the US. So I've made this correction before, but I always forget it, that we have a largely international audience, and they have not had the same ridiculous phenomenon where the games have cost the same amount of money throughout this entire generation. And
Really?
the last one. Yeah. It's the US is like, no, nothing more than $60. Meanwhile, everybody else is like, yeah, they're going up. The price of games are going up. We're watching that happen. For some reason, we are the only country that's really just locked in at that number.
The fridge is getting worse.
Oh yeah, the fridge
fine.
is getting nasty.
It's still cooling things.
Yeah.
That
It's
just does its job.
It's doing its job. The we talked about the Square Enix merger and which company was bigger. It's actually Enix. Wikipedia says that one Square share was 0.85 Enix shares or Enix shares, and as a result of the merger, Enix was the thriving company and Square Co. Limited was dissolved.
Huh.
Yeah. And so I guess it really was just Enix Square sounds worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I think it was like an international appeal, like even because like the reason Square had less money is because they put so much into that dumb movie.
Yeah.
Spirits Within.
Yeah.
That's within. So you mean so Blood? You're saying even though Square had less money, they were still a bigger name.
Right.
Yeah, I get
like
that.
NX was known in Japan. It was known like by a niche audience
Yeah.
worldwide, but like Square was like the hot stuff.
Yeah, still is. We still call it Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often do you say Square Enix?
Well, usually, honestly.
Yeah, I think.
Most of the time.
Call us out if we don't. EA's fiscal year 2019 could have still meant the game would come out in fall of 2018. We gotta learn fiscal years. And the thing is, every company has its own fiscal year.
Yeah.
True.
Gah, but we should have thought of that. Anyway, Ukulele absolutely has a retail box. Go buy it
Oh, cool.
in a store. You can do it. We talked about, there was a tweet that Jason Schreier made immediately after, and this is kind of not really a correction, but an interesting follow-up, talking about Visceral. He said, at Jason Schreier, by the way, I feel like I should clarify that despite today's hot takes, both in caps, Visceral's game was not canned because of single-player from what I've heard, in parentheses. So a lot of people are like, hey, look at this. This disproves it all. I don't think it does necessarily. We did absolutely consider that maybe the game was a mess, maybe the game was bad. And I think it'd be a fool to think that the new game that is coming out of this egg, like you crack an egg and then you take the goo and then you make something out of that goo, whatever that goo is, that's going to have multiplayer. Like that is not going to be the single player. Like the game wasn't canceled solely because of single player, but it was a factor. Surely. Blood, why do you look at me like that? What? Say something.
I don't want to rehash last week's podcast. Yeah, I don't think it necessarily has to have a multiplayer thing.
The letter from EA almost described a multiplayer game without saying multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like a game you could come back to more than once for a reason.
Every time we put out new maps.
Right.
I have another really fun follow-up on this. So on GamesIndustry.biz, there's an article that titled "Ex-Visceral Dev Calls Death of Single-Player Fears Totally Absurd." And so this is fun. Zach Wilson, who served as senior level designer and worked on Battlefield Hardline, disagrees with the plethora of death of single-player articles that has spread throughout the game's media since Visceral's shock closure last week. The assertion that single-player linear games are going to disappear is totally absurd, he says. I'm on board. EA might not be the company that carries that torch, but there are so many groups out there that are passionate about this kind of game that they won't go away. So yeah, he's saying, yeah, you're right, EA's done with single-player games. Like everything that's the title, the first 3 sentences is like, you're stupid for thinking that. And then this guy's just like, yeah, EA's done with single-player. What's wrong with you? It's like, it's very, very funny until that point. I really like, he's totally honest at this part. I expect publicly traded publishers to follow market trends to maximize their profits. As a current shareholder in EA, I support this. As a game designer in the AAA space, I do my best to balance the need to make money with my respect and dedication to the craft, always with the player in mind. As a gamer, I don't buy or play games that abuse these systems. So he's like, whoa. As an investor, I love it. As a gamer, I won't buy it. But like that's pretty much it. That's like to encapsulate everything we talked about last week. Absolutely,
But
that's it.
EA's market price went down after all that.
Did it?
Yeah.
Ooh, Ian, that's a good scoop.
For some reason, Google told me about it. And then I spent 5 minutes trying to make it never ever tell me that kind of thing ever again.
No,
Is this one of the things where
Yeah,
you're
scoop
like
on the
laying on
podcast.
your bed and Alexa just starts whispering sweet nothings in your ear? How does this work?
No, I just looked at my phone and it had like a little, because sometimes it gives me like news stories. It's like, oh, Tom Waits is doing new reissues. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm into that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, oh, EA's stock went down, and I'm like,
My phone does this too, but not relevant news.
It's almost always relevant.
Oh, I wish that I had that.
I think it's based mostly on what you look at.
It's like, you'll never believe what Donald Trump said. It's like, phone? Why? You think I'm going to click on that phone and just
no.
swipe it up? You'll never believe what he's saying. Oh, every single day.
I would believe it. I'd believe it.
Someone offered information on how much publishers make on video games. I wanted to say this.
Oh.
DM'd us on Twitter. And I just want to say, yes, I'm very interested in seeing that. Don't send it to us. Because they were like, I'm going to break NDAs. Is that cool? Is it fine if I send this to you? It's kind of like, don't.
Don't break NDAs.
Yeah. Send that to other people. Break your NDA with other people.
And then have them send it to us. Hide your paper
right.
trail.
Do you know what I thought of? I thought of the No. And they had the huge Dark Souls 3 scoop, and they showed so much, and I was like, oh, cool, the No's in on this. And then they had that stupid thing about Silent Hill selling for $1 billion, and they're like, this is real, and I don't want to be that.
Right.
I don't ever want to be in that position where I'm like, look, my sources told me Microsoft bought Silent Hills for $1 billion, and then double down on that for a year. I don't want to fall in that position. Let someone else give that information to someone else.
We're not shock jocks.
Not the easy. We're not shocked. And corrections music, please.
I just want to point out your intro into that corrections sequence was perfect this week.
What do you mean by that?
You usually, previously you would say, and now it's time for corrections. Begin corrections music, please.
Sure.
Because the please is my cue, so I go off the S on the please.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, so correction music, please. We're doing corrections now, and the music starts now, I guess. And then you'll do it. So
I never say the music starts now, I guess.
right, but there have previously been some stumbling involved.
Yes.
Which is why I'm complimenting you now.
You like it when it's punctuated.
I remember
You just did it a certain way many
suppose.
times.
I remember I suppose.
Yeah, I'm much more elegant
Yeah.
in my manner of speech.
Right.
You know my favorite way to start a podcast?
Game announcement.
Yeah. Before that, I do want to say we're not talking about NeoGAF on this podcast. Realize we see the request. I see you want us to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. We're going to address it real quick. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to Kotaku, go to Waypoint, read everything they've written. Just look at that. I don't. There's not a lot of sides of the conversation that I don't want to NeoGAF memory. I don't want to talk about it on the podcast. It's fine. It's good.
What are we gonna achieve?
What are we gonna achieve?
What are we gonna achieve?
Not a thing. So let that be. Okay. Yeah. Game announcement this week. Game announcement minutes ago almost. Well, it's a while ago.
An hour and 10 minutes ago.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Nintendo is finally going mobile. This has been teased for a long time, actually. That Animal Crossing would be one of Nintendo's mobile properties, that they would create an original game, Animal Crossing style, for mobile phones.
Is it the last one of that group when they first made that announcement? Yeah.
Yep. They actually announced Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing before Mario, but Mario came out before either of those. But so yeah, we're all caught up now, Blood. Blood, what is this game? What is Animal Crossing Pocket Camper?
It's surprisingly almost a full-fledged Animal Crossing game. It doesn't appear to have any design elements that we saw in the Direct, but it you have a camp space. Instead of building monuments like in the 3DS game, you can build swimming pools. So it's a different setting, but it has a lot of the same kinds of things. You can buy outfits. You can buy the furnishings. You have a camper that you can extend and put a top on and have a second floor. And then there's other locations there's an island and a river and a forest and stuff like that. Different places.
Things we're used to in Animal
you can
Crossing.
drive off to.
Catching bugs, fishing.
So
yeah.
I think if this is my introduction to the game, my first question, and this is the question I had coming in, my most burning question is, how is this game going to be monetized?
Right.
This is a free-to-play game. You download it for free. Coming out late November this year. Panel, how's this game monetized?
Leaf tickets.
Got it.
You're right.
Tom
actually,
Nook's
yeah.
leaf tickets.
Good retention. I hated them so much there was no way I decided to memorize that.
Yeah.
Tom Nook's leaf tickets.
Yeah.
So what is that? What does that get me?
They appear based on the Direct. They appear that you can speed up building. You can purchase. Unclear if you can pay to speed up your friendship social link things.
I don't think you can speed up those.
Yeah, I don't think you can speed those up. But you can buy bells, I think.
Here's
the in-game currency?
No, they actually try to keep that super separate.
Okay, they keep them separate.
Here's
yeah.
the filthiest one.
Speeding things up.
You can buy a fishing net.
Right.
You can spend your real life money on a fishing net.
Yeah, that's right.
To catch 10 fish at once instead of one fish at once, like a fishing pole.
Right.
You can just cast a net out there and catch 10 fish at once.
Also, maybe unintentional, but an implication that you might get better fish too.
Yes.
Because she was really irritated with the crappy fish with the fishing pole and got all good ones, and she was like, no horse walleye here or whatever. And I was like, I wonder if that's an actual thing.
That's marketing. That is the marketing they used
There's
for a
something with
Nintendo
honey
game.
too that appeared you could buy.
Oh yeah,
honey.
I didn't understand what
They're
that was.
pouring honey in a tree stump.
Yes.
During the Tom Nook leaf tickets.
Most likely to catch beetles easier.
Catch beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But speeding things up too.
Right. So, Jones, I would call those pretty traditional microtransactions. That's a pretty traditional mobile game. To me, that's how most mobile games go. Is you can pay to speed up time. That's it basically. Both of those things really just pay to speed up time. Is there anything that offends you about this then?
Not as far as the microtransactions are concerned. When they talked about adding microtransactions, or when we theorized how you could add microtransactions to a game like Animal Crossing, looking back at previous games in the franchise, I'm like, I doubt the traveling is really what they're going to focus on. The going and exploring and meeting new people and seeing what they're about. It's the acquisition of shirts and shoes and furniture items and hats and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if the tickets, they'll have a certain item, you'll go into a store or something like that, and they'll have the most cool item in the world, and that one's up for tickets, and then bells will be below that, and then that super awesome item, maybe a week or a month later, will drop down to the bell tier. So if you want to get that super hot new thing that just came out, you got to drop tickets.
You can get tickets through like challenges and stuff in the game too. They're not
which is
exclusively.
key. Yeah, that's a big deal. Is there's got to be some way I can get these things. So if I want to just like go nuts, if it's like a luxury, then
You just
then I'll
trade
spend
your
on that.
sweet life.
But if it's So if and especially really early on, like a lot of mobile games are set up this way. When you first log in, they're like, here's 10 of them, then here's 5 of them, and here's 1. Okay, you're done. You're like, oh whoa!
Yeah.
I wish I would have spent that 16 tickets on something valuable. So, your pointer for people going in, like save those until you see something you really want.
Because that's the thing is, I feel like a lot of people play this game saying, I didn't spend a penny on this. I didn't spend a penny, and I got to play a free Animal Crossing game, or I got to hang out on a campsite. What's the problem? I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. Like, just
The problem is that according to the direct, Tom Nook's got a pop-up coming up every 2 seconds about 75% off with Leaf tickets in the store right now. Whatever.
Ian, I totally forgot about
great
that.
deal. Pop-ups.
There's a
Tom Nook.
an internet-esque pop-up window during your gameplay that says 75% off on top.
Well, I think it's like 72 hours left.
Of this sale or whatever it said. It's still obtrusive. It's like, what?
71 hours left.
Yeah, right.
And like, building that pool takes 71 hours.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay those Leaf tickets.
Right. Because I want to swim in my pool now. Why
I want
would
to swim in your pool now. Kyle's coming over to my campsite, and I want to show him my pool.
Yeah. And then so somebody will say, well, I just waited 72 hours. What's the big deal? It's a mobile game.
Yeah. I mean, some people, if you're into like Simpsons Tapped Out or Family Guy, Futurama just had a version like this where you're like building the town, and like unlocking things that either mean something to you because you love My Little Pony or whatever, or like mean something because you're like, I actually recognize like Simpsons has a huge lore of all sorts of areas and buildings and stuff. Like they're never gonna run out of stuff to add to that game. And so when something like that is new, like 71 hours, I've seen weeks, for some of that stuff. So it's like, I think a lot of people that are accustomed to mobile games are like, oh yeah, that's standard fare.
That's how this works.
So
my question in the panel before we wrap up talking about this game is, Miitomo launched pretty huge, fizzled out fast.
Oh, real fast.
Super Mario Run, under expectations.
Really?
Fire Emblem Heroes did very well. Fire Emblem Heroes is still making money. I think it's Nintendo's best success. Don't get us started on Pokemon Go. Strictly Nintendo publishing a mobile game, talking about their best success. Where do you think this will fall in line?
Well, because Mario cost money and didn't have microtransactions, right?
Right.
Even though everyone thought it did?
Right.
Because it felt like
it had like
did.
currencies and stamps and things. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think they also had like a bit of backlash at launch. I forget what it was about, though.
I think it was just about like you can download it for free, and then it's like after that you spend $10 within the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And it came out way earlier on iPhone.
Well,
That's true.
Which was weird.
Yeah, I mean, Animal Crossing, like I said, I think the thing is it feels like it's weird. It feels like a proper sequel in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It
looks good, right?
In
We
more,
should say it looks
honestly,
good.
it looks like more of a sequel than the DS to the Wii. Like when they put out that Wii Animal Crossing game, I'm like, this. Okay, you added like a little city area, but like the rest of this game just feels like the DS game to me, you know. And it took the 3DS to like really change things around. And this, I think with the other area, there's just a ton of familiar things from the characters to the designs and stuff. But they've already got like the shop where those 3 guys are working on your car and
Beppe.
Yeah.
Those look Italian guys.
So, but yeah, it feels fresh. Another thing, I could have misinterpreted this, but it sounds like you can actually visit and check out your friends' towns even when they're not online.
Oh, yeah. So you see their stuff, and you compare my stuff. Oh, my friend has better stuff than I do. I got to go back and get more stuff.
I need more tickets.
Yeah.
He's got 6 pools.
Yeah. My friend has higher status than I do. I need to catch up. Blood, yeah. We're talking about mobile, though, baby. I'm not interested in how good of the game will be. How much money will it make? Where's it going to land, Blood?
I think it'll land pretty well because it's popular worldwide and especially popular in Japan.
Are we talking Fire Emblem Heroes money?
I think it would make more than that because it has a
would expect
wider
it to make
appeal.
More, yeah.
You expect to make more than Fire Emblem Heroes?
Yeah.
So I think... I'm sorry, I pose this question. I'm going to interject before I get more answers. Fire Emblem Heroes has randomness. It's got, that it's gotcha. It's got the I'm buying a box. Please be something good, please. Oh, well, here's more money. Please be something good, please. Oh, okay. It's got that.
Yeah.
That's where you make the most money, and I
Yeah.
think that's why that game's been so popular.
We haven't seen anything that rules that out from this.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Blood. Is that there is a lot of randomness inherent to Animal Crossing.
Right.
The things that you get on a particular day, the things that your
Yeah.
friends give you, and
Right.
things like that. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like again, like if this thing is only available for 72 hours, and it's like Animal Crossing is notorious for like there's stuff like it's one of the few games where I still get a guide because you get all these checklists of like, okay, when seasonal events are happening, what are all the different furniture items that you can get for this event.
What beetle is worth the most money?
Some of
Bells.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. But in terms of just like the sheer amount of like furnitures and sets like that, and so yeah, if some rare thing pops in the shop for only 72 hours, and you can see that you're not going to have the challenges to get those tickets,
Right.
then people are probably going to want to spend a little bit just to get that one item.
So, Jones, do you agree this is going to be a very successful Nintendo mobile
I
game?
think so, because everything in Fire Emblem is geared around the characters, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
If I'm putting money into Fire Emblem Heroes, it's to get characters.
Yes.
I think if there's so much more to sell in Animal Crossing, there's so many other possible things that you can unlock. There's so many more. Because I think you can get it can be kind of redundant seeing these continual character announcements, like throwing stuff up. Granted, although I've been enjoying that a lot with Galaxy of Heroes, but I think like it just seems there's so, and they're talking about seasonal, so it's just
Right.
like every holiday,
Yeah.
they got to think like what Fire Emblem character works good on Halloween, whereas like Animal Crossing, you're just like, oh, go nuts. I mean, there's so many different items you could have and stuff.
Not to mention reskinning other items. Like,
Right.
this is the Halloween version of
But
that other couch.
They don't even.
Yeah.
They
The
don't even-
orange version of
Right.
that lamp.
But they don't
There you
even
go.
need to do that because they've already got such a rich library of stuff from the past games.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's not only something that will make a lot of money out of the gate. They can really finesse it, subtly. They can make little tiny changes, and we'll make this a little more expensive next time. So if you see that 72 hours goes up, it's coming back. It's going to be the most inopportune moments. They're going to know like, oh, there's a huge demand for that item. So okay, we'll adjust in the next month. We'll focus more on shirts rather than hats or whatever. I just see it adapting a little bit more than maybe Fire Emblem Heroes can.
Cool. All right. Thanks, panel. Go ahead.
I was just gonna. I wonder if they're gonna do like a Destiny thing where, like, Zur is there for these 4 days. I wonder if they'll have like a schedule like that where it's
Oh,
like
'cause they had that
Mondays
flea
we have
market.
new
But
shirts.
that
And,
is
yeah.
that
That's
is
what
how
Animal Crossing
the
does.
console games
Right.
work.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're gonna do that.
And correct me
here.
if I'm wrong. Major thing not in this mobile game is other people's houses. Everyone's coming to the camp, where it seemed like everybody you were talking to, like they live
Oh.
somewhere else.
Oh, do you mean the other creatures?
you're on vacation? Yeah.
the NPCs?
Oh yeah.
Because I know it's
NPCs.
just kind of like it seems like a console game, and to me that's
Yeah.
like that's a big thing that's not in it. Is there's no village.
Yeah.
There's no you don't
Right.
live anywhere. You're just in this little.
It's definitely it's mini. It's simplified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could go into other players' campers too, or if that's private.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting question actually.
Maybe.
Can I go on your camper?
It's a very personal. question.
Probably.
Yeah. Very
I mean,
personal.
I assume because you're decorating it, right? You
Yeah.
want
I
people
keep
to see
very
it, but-
personal things in there. Please don't.
Because you just can't. Yeah, you can't like move it around or take it with you or anything in the old game. So.
Yeah. We have another game announcement. A Switch game.
Okay.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
A new one?
A new one.
Oh.
And here's the thing is there was absolutely announcement of an SMT game. I'm going to say SMT so I stop embarrassing myself with pronunciations.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was just that.
Yeah. And it turns out it's 5. 5 is
That
the
was
game.
the game. They were like in an apartment building somewhere, and it was all dark.
Gray,
Yeah,
All
yeah,
hanging out.
yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's
that was
5.
this. Got it.
Same director as 4, Kazuyuki Yamai. 4 came out 2013 on the 3DS. And so that's where I want to start this conversation, and we're going to play a game even, because, there's not many details about it. There's a trailer, minute and a half, not much is revealed in the trailer. It looks lower budget. It looks like a lower budget other than Persona. And that's the interesting thing, is that this is where Persona comes from. Persona's an offshoot of SMT that just blew up way bigger.
Right.
Like Frasier. And so, to me, I think that that's the kind of interesting thing about it is this in between of budget. This idea of a mobile game. The 4 was a 3DS game. Naturally, that's going to be on the Switch. You don't have to increase the budget too much. You know what I mean? You can put out this level of game on the Switch. And so the game I want to play is I have more 3DS games here that maybe aren't 3DS exclusive, but basically ended. The most recent title is on the 3DS, and the game's called Making the Switch. But we don't have to be like. I want to know if a new game will be announced in this franchise within the next 12 months.
12 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Between now and October 24th,
Yeah.
2018.
2014.
Jones, don't answer. Animal Crossing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. You know what? Just to make this more interesting,
You're just saying announced, right?
yeah, you got to say Making the Switch.
Oh, Making the Switch.
Making
What?
the Switch.
Okay. Sorry, Jones, you cannot participate in that one. Brain Age.
No.
Oh.
No.
You have to say not Making the Switch.
Not making the Switch.
I think
Okay.
they're done with that.
All right. Yeah, this is a fast-paced game. Project Cross Zone.
What?
That's
Not
the
Not making the Switch.
that's the Namco Sega one more. There's like 3 publishers.
Atlas in there? I don't know.
There's like 3 publishers who got together to make this game together. Where like it's
Namco,
Mega Man.
Sega. Who's the third?
Okay, so let's think of characters, because like Tekken characters are there, Mega Man characters are there, Sega characters.
Oh, well then Capcom then.
Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Yeah. So yeah, it's Capcom, Bandai Namco, and Sega. Okay, Pilot Wings.
No, not making
No,
the Switch.
not making
Not
the Switch,
making the
sadly.
Switch.
Oh, that'd
Ever,
be great.
or do you think just the next year? Will there ever be a Pilot Wings game on Switch?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would not put my bet on that
Yeah,
one.
the
I would not put
3DS
my
was such a
chips
weird one to go anyways.
on Pilot Wings.
Cooking Mama.
Ooh.
Making the Switch.
Making the
Making the
Switch.
Switch.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Art Academy.
Not
Making the Switch.
Oh. I'd say not making the Switch.
But it's just hard because there's no stylus.
It's true.
You can
Yeah.
use your finger, but the
But
touch
people
screen's
have
over
bought Stylus or Styli, whatever, for Splatoon.
Yes, you're right. Kid Icarus.
Not making the
here.
Switch.
Not making
Not making the Switch.
Ouch. All right, I'm going to say Making the Switch. Mario and Luigi. The RPGs.
Making the Switch. I'll buy it.
It'd be fun, yeah, making the Switch.
Making the Switch.
Wow. Okay, let me elaborate on that. Will it still have the 2D style that they currently have, where they're 2D sprites, just on these 3D environments? Do you think they'll retain that for
Sure.
the Switch version?
Yeah.
Okay.
People didn't like the look of that last one, though.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Really? The
Well, actually,
remake?
one just came out, but yeah, even Blood.
Well, the one that they announced in E3, we're all just like, "Ugh."
Yeah, because if you compare it to the original, like something is lost. Something
Yeah.
is gone there. It's actually not an upgrade. Okay, anyway, Nintendogs.
Ooh.
Not making the Switch.
Not making the Switch.
Making the Switch.
There we go.
They're gonna pump
Yeah,
one of
making
those
the Switch.
bastards out.
I wonder if that's a dead franchise or not. Really?
They'll pump them
Remember
out.
all the Ubisoft pet spin-offs? Like,
Yeah.
they all like ended with these. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
cats,
Babies.
hamsters,
It escalated to babies.
babies.
Whoa.
And then Party Babies, Tomodachi
Yes.
Life.
Ooh. Isn't that coming back in some capacity?
I think you could say it was like Miitomo was it coming back.
Yeah, it was,
but, like,
there's Miitomo. There was also that weird. It's sitting over there. Miitopia.
Yeah.
That bombed.
Yeah. So is Tomodachi Life that kind of game? Will we see that on the Switch?
Not making the Switch.
No, not making the Switch.
Not making a Switch.
Okay.
Isn't there the little pocket things, right? Tamagotchi.
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 Tamagotchi. Is that
Yeah.
different?
That's way different.
Oh,
Way
okay.
different. Yeah.
There's something like that. That's coming back.
That's
right?
coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
to phones.
Well,
No.
no, the actual like
Physical-
physical
Whoa.
keychain. Yeah.
That's an easy update.
That's
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I was so proud of my Tamagotchi. I took super good care of it. It turned into the butt chin man. It had a guy with just like a little butt chin and just 2 little legs. I took such good care of it.
Dude, let's get into it.
Back into Tamagotchi?
Back into it.
Okay.
When they come out,
All right.
let's all get one.
I had a Yoda one that I cherished. Oh. It was a little Yoda.
Did he evolve?
You do. Yeah, yeah. Well, you would get better at force tricks. Like you could like practice the force with him and like lift him up and move him around.
But he doesn't change, right? He doesn't like grow. or
he
anything?
didn't. I grew.
Kyle, I don't know if you had it. I didn't actually have the real physical Tamagotchi. What I had was the Game Boy release.
Whoa.
They put it on a Game Boy cartridge.
And it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You feed it and have to like clean up its poop and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. How'd you do on that?
I played it for a while. I don't.
No, I mean, what did your Tamagotchi become?
Oh. I don't remember it that well, unfortunately.
Dusty.
Must
sounds
not have
like.
been
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Must not have
Dead.
been great. Steel Diver. There's actually 2 Steel Diver games.
That's
on 3DS.
right. The second one was supposed to be really good, huh?
It's not really good. I played it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
It's
this
actually
is.
cool. You're controlling the
Submarine.
submarine from behind
Oh.
and like shooting torpedoes in like a multiplayer arena. It's a cool game. It's not great.
Okay.
Not making the switch.
Not making the switch.
Not making a switch.
Finally, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Making the switch. I'll believe.
Yeah.
The game was fun, sure.
I have no idea.
Coming to mobile.
Coming in mobile.
Tap to hit.
Yeah,
Tap, yeah.
because I mean,
Just keep your eye on the ball.
no, I mean in that game you do use real dollars to buy more
Yeah,
mini
yeah.
games. Like it's just that's such an easy. Yeah, you're right, Blood. That's the next mobile game. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. By the way, I know most people haven't played it. Ends on a cliffhanger. Ends as if they're making a sequel. Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
So you bought all the mini games?
I bought enough to
get
get
to
the
that ending,
credits.
right? Oh, to
yeah,
get to
I
credits,
think you have
okay.
to buy just a portion of the mini games to get
Got
to the
it.
credits. Yeah,
With actual money,
with actual money.
like your money.
Yeah. It's one of the good Final Bossman episodes is about Rusty's Real Deal
It's a
Baseball.
3DS game.
Yeah.
Weird.
The most effed up game I ever played, I think, is the title of the episode. Worth watching. One of the good ones.
Worth watching.
Cool. People like it when we talk about NPDs, which is a financial group that does research on sales in North America of video game hardware and digital software as well now, too. A lot of interesting tidbits this month. Where to start? Anyway, it was a good month, September. Sales grew 39%, which is like, I don't know, that seems huge. I think Destiny 2 is a big part of that because Destiny 2 is #1 on the best-selling games, all platforms. I'll go through the top 10 actually. That
Sure.
might be fun. Are there any guesses for number 2 actually?
Does the SNES console count?
You want to talk about that?
I
Because
think
it doesn't.
that's on hardware.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not on
not on
that.
the software list.
Oh,
Do you want to talk about that though?
I just heard that was the best-selling console of September.
That is the best-selling console of September. Mm-hmm. That is crazy. That's crazy for 2 reasons.
Nintendo made enough?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the number 1 reason.
There were enough.
Reggie promised. He said marketplace disconnect. We rolled our eyes. Many didn't believe that he would change his ways, but he totally did. Damiani didn't believe. I did. Again, I proved Damiani wrong.
Did you walk into a store and buy one without having to get up early?
I pre-ordered.
Yeah.
But I suspect that it will still be really hard to find for the rest of the year. But for them to sell, they've already sold, I think, more Super Nintendos. No, what'd he say? He said they've made more money off of Super Nintendos than the NES Classics altogether.
Well, they cost
Because they
$30 more, $40 more.
$20 more.
They were 60.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, they cost that much more, but yeah, they've already made more money off the SNESs than they have the NES Classics, which is cool. By the way, when I always say I gotta do a call out to Matt Piscatella, who works for NPD. He's got a YouTube show. Good follow on Twitter.
Oh.
He does like every month now has a really cool like PowerPoint presentation where he's up in the upper right hand corner like he's on Twitch and just kind of runs through his notes and everything on why this is an interesting month in the NPDs.
That's cool.
It's like 12-minute video. It's really cool.
I think I've asked you this before. What does it stand for?
NPD? No idea.
It's N as in like Nathan?
National Product Group, I believe.
Whoa, Daniel Bloodworth.
D.
NPD.
Oh. You're right.
God, I was just ready to believe.
I was ready to believe the confidence.
National Product Group.
Digest, I think.
Oh.
Digest.
Woo. Digest.
I could be completely wrong still.
Ian,
Hey.
the SNES Classic did sell the most hardware of numbers. However, PlayStation 4 led all hardware platforms in consumer spend. So,
Because they're way more expensive.
it's way more expensive. So
Right.
that's kind of interesting. Is that like,
So units versus money.
yeah,
Right.
PlayStation 4 still comes out on top. So
Yeah, if your thing costs 5 times as much.
yeah, more so. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. Not more so. Never mind.
4 times maybe.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. What else? Other factoids. The SNES. Oh, you know what correction I like the least?
Uh-oh.
Factoid means
Factoid.
not a fact. It's like, yeah, it does, though. It does now. Anyway, the SNES Classic is now the top-selling Nintendo Classic console. Oh, I already said that. Yeah. In consumer spend. So, yeah, they made more money off the SNES than they had the NES. That's a good turnaround.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm frankly impressed. Last year, I was befuddled by the NES Classic. They've really turned that around. I was befuddled by the announcement of the SNES Classic, and now it kind of makes sense. I own one, and I love it.
I just like having it there.
Yeah.
Like I look at it, and I'm like, man, I just get warm feelings looking at that thing.
Yeah. I might never turn it on again.
I never play it.
Yeah. But like it's just so nice. The controllers are there's 2 of them and
feel
they're
great.
so nice.
They don't work if you daisy chain 2 extenders for one controller.
Just loses the connection.
You'll like push stuff and it'll work fine for a second, then all of a sudden it'll just like move all over the place.
Oh, because you have a projector.
Yeah, so I'm
I
like
see.
24
That's a whole
feet away
issue.
from
You
the
just
thing.
need a super long HDMI, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't work.
If I move it onto the
Everything
floor,
has this is something I because of my room setup and trying to cable things so that I'm not creating a spider web across my door. Yeah, I've tried to buy like extra long USB cables for like my Elgato to capture.
Yeah.
And realize like, oh, that doesn't work because physically it can't transfer data fast enough to the computer. So I had to get HDMI cables that were longer instead.
Yeah. HDMI
But then
is
those
good.
were like these big old fatties that like
Yeah.
you gotta like twist with all your strength just to like get it into the plug.
HDMI
So-
doesn't lose a lot of signal strength, which is nice because we've got like 50 footers going.
Good format.
HDMI,
It's a good format.
they figured it out.
Number 2, I don't think anyone was about to guess it. NBA 2K18.
I was gonna say some sports thing.
Yeah,
but
some sports
Ah.
thing. And apparently
I was
like,
thinking maybe FIFA, but
Sure.
yeah, that's a good one.
it's
yeah,
pronounced FIFA.
FIFA's number 4, by the way, Blood.
Okay.
So it's definitely up there. Yeah, FIFA did well. Madden number 3.
Wow, yeah, I didn't heard that much about Madden, but I guess it's still trucking.
I pulled something interesting. He said something so interesting about NBA 2K18. I guess I lost it. Just this idea that the spend in 2K18, yes, this is what it was. More people have spent money on NBA 2K18 right now than on any other sports game in this entire generation.
Whoa, why?
Is there some crazy special edition that comes with like a signed
There are 2
thing?
special editions. There's, I think they go 80 and a hundo. But also, this one is full of microtransactions.
I was gonna say microtransactions.
For your create a character.
Ah,
So they're
Yeah.
tracking that now?
Yeah, NPD tracks digital now.
But I didn't realize that included microtransactions for that game. Interesting.
We'll have to ask Matt. I'm pretty sure it does.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy town.
Because actually, Blood, it'd be way crazier to think that even off that $100 edition, just selling those, that they've
Sure.
already made more revenue
Yeah.
than any other sports game.
that's a lot of
You
money.
remember it was, I think Grid 2 or something had like, it was only available in the UK. They had a special edition that included like a like $100,000 sports car.
I was gonna say
I
it came
hate
with a
that.
car,
I hate that
right?
so
Yeah, it came with a
much.
car.
Yeah. What sucks though is that these in particular are grody microtransactions. These are particularly bad in NBA 2K18, and they just went ahead and made more money than anyone ever has on a sports game this whole entire generation. Like a lesson was not learned. This is why I say like don't worry about voting with your wallet because like that sucks. They made enough money to like
That's the reality we live in now, Kyle.
yeah.
Bad things are just what happens.
Bad things are what happened. Yeah, I mean, I guess my hope is that it's going to be like NBA 2K19. It has to deal with the effects of what 2K18 did to people. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
Like it's a game about someone whose life was destroyed by
No, no,
spending
no.
too much on microtransactions.
It's like a story campaign about
I think-
devs
I
like,
think
dealing with the backlash.
I think what he means is like basically like Assassin's Creed Syndicate
Yes.
had lower sales because of the reaction to Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yes. Thank you, Blood.
Even though
Yeah.
Syndicate was the better received game.
The sins of our fathers.
Yeah.
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 That kind of thing. Where yeah.
Isn't WWE doing the same exact kind of system?
WWE, it's randomized how you get your created character stuff. Huber's miffed.
What?
Yeah. So you know how we had so much fun
Right,
creating a
because
character?
there's billions of options.
Yeah. Imagine if those are inside of loot boxes and you randomly get those things. Yeah.
Take a page at, like, Infinite Golf needs to learn about this too. Is like,
Everybody's Golf?
no, Infinite Golf.
Infinite
Infinite
Golf.
Mini
Okay.
Golf. You start that game and your character has 2 options for, like, shirts.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not a creative character, that's just bait.
Yeah.
Create a shirt.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's bait.
That's bait.
Number 5, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom
Yeah!
Battle.
Wow, very nice.
That's my baby boy.
And that's its second month, right?
I think it was like the butt end of August.
Right.
Yeah.
God, that game's fun.
That's a fun
That is a
game.
cute little game.
Cool to see in the top 5. That's good.
Yeah.
Good word of mouth there, you think?
Yeah.
Just a
dude.
lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Catching up a
being
couple weeks late to the party.
being
but,
that high and being a Switch exclusive is pretty freaking great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the majority of Switch owners buying that.
Yeah, that is cool. Number 6, Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
Wow.
Yeah. Jones, why I was like, yeah, I was like, hey, bud, good to see you. Yeah, I'm happy for that game to do well. Because I think that's a Capcom game where people are rolling their eyes for like maybe the designs or anything. I don't think they did anything scummy with this one. There's like nothing scummy to say about Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. I guess you can make a case for roster. You can make a case that the 2 DLC characters, 3, came out recently. Like, hey, you had those done, didn't you?
Yeah.
But like, it's a pretty unscummy Capcom game. So you know.
Character models.
Yep.
A little scummy looking. A couple of them.
Yeah, that's yeah. All right. Yeah, all right. All right, Jones. All right. Who's number 7? Who could it be? Game that's always on here for like the last 3 years in a row.
Grand Theft Auto still?
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 is number 7. Can't kill it. All right, let's say this. Let's wonder. Will Grand Theft Auto 5, a year from now, when we're here a year from now, will that still be in the top 10?
Red Dead will knock it off if anything does. If it's got
But
online where you buy stuff
still be there.
it'll probably still be there.
I mean,
Yeah, but I wonder if it's not necessarily a popularity thing. Like 2 Rockstar games can't exist in the same thing. We have 3
Yeah.
sports games in the top 5.
True.
But more of a reflection of kind of what Rockstar's focusing on. That they're like, okay, now we want to focus on Red Dead. So we're just, by nature of just, there's no content. There's just not a lot coming out
Right.
for GT Online now.
oh, content-wise, they'll still be pumping it out a year from now. I'm certain.
I
of
wonder.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how, because there's been no other projects from them. That's really been the
Yeah.
output of that company. So I don't know if they can manage that and work on other things at the same time.
So let's say GTA 5. Well, let's say Red Dead. Do we have a release date for that? Okay, so
Spring.
I'm assuming fall of next year, right? That's the safest thing to assume.
Spring of next year, isn't it?
Spring next
Fall
year.
next year? 2018 fall? It was fall of this year, so they bumped back a full year. I thought
You're
it was
right.
spring.
They delayed it to
Yeah.
spring. You're totally right. So I'm gonna say fall. I'm gonna say there's at least like 2 more years on top after the release of Red Dead of GTA 5 online stuff.
Wow.
I think they will continue to support and get money from people buying credit cards in that game for as long as they can.
They're gonna pump a whole bunch of like 6 shooters into GTA 5, like tie-in guns and stuff.
Yeah, I think Red Dead's gonna be harder to monetize. I really, really do.
Sure. You can't put sports bikes and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Or have the goof. There's a lot of goofy updates to online. There's a lot of
Yeah.
weird outfits, and 4th of July buy a firecracker shotgun, and all, so like harder to make stuff like that happen at Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
Man, if they go hardcore realistic with Red Dead Online, where it's just like you can get like apartments and stuff. Ugh, that'd be fun. I wouldn't want them to break the immersion of Red Dead. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, once you go online, immersion is gone.
Yeah.
Once you go online, it's all gone.
RP server. I'm gonna be on an RP server.
Yeah. What's up, Jones? You gotta.
I'd argue the opposite,
Counterpoint?
actually.
Oh boy.
That I've moved from a single player experience where I'm watching people just kind of like NPCs, just like I'm in the city walking around, like saying interesting things, but maybe not animating like that amazingly all the time. Versus that's a real person driving that car. Like,
Yeah.
how many times are you in GTA when like two convertibles go speeding by with 20 cop cars chasing them, and you're just like, whoa. Like, or you hear gunfire from like a distance, and like that's not background sound effects. Like somebody's robbing a bank over there, or something else is happening.
So you feel more in the lived-in world when you're playing
I
online.
think it's a balance. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't say going into online, I'm guaranteed to be completely taken out of the experience. I've had some crazy interactions with players in online that I've never approached in any single player.
I like it, Jones.
GTA is
game.
the right harmony of like goofy and realistic
Definitely,
too.
yeah.
So it like fits.
Yeah, it's crazy too because it gets me wondering like, is it going to be around for so long that GTA 5 is going to like lead up to 6? Or like whatever is the
Right.
next GTA we're going to get? Like, is the online still going to be hopping so they can like maybe start introducing characters or something?
Jones,
or...
is there even going to be a story in GTA 6?
Yes. there's-
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think so.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wonder sometimes. NHL 19, number 8. Cool. Number 9. Legend of-
19? What?
18.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Number 9, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Heyo.
Hanging there. And number 10, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over Wildlands.
Yeah.
Wow.
A year ago, me saying, like, is Rainbow Six Siege going to be on the 10? And you'd be like, no. Kyle, no. Rainbow Six Siege won't be on the NPDs a year
Well,
from now.
they did
Like,
just have a
totally.
big update, but
They
there was
did,
also
yeah.
a lot of controversy because some things didn't work out very well.
Fill me
What
in
happened?
on the
Yeah, what is that?
controversy.
Just like it just sounded like there were a lot of things that were
Like
kind of
balancing
broken
stuff?
and balancing,
Okay,
and
sure.
yeah.
They're
So,
trying their hardest.
I don't know where it is right now. I just because I don't follow it super close, but I remember seeing that. It's like, oh, they put out the thing that I played. Oh, like people aren't happy right now.
Looks like I copied and pasted the top 20, which isn't too crazy, but it's interesting that Pokken Tournament DX is number 13. Take that. You're not a top 10 game. Never will be.
I was like, 13's amazingly good for that game.
Maybe, yeah. Metroid Samus Returns is number 12. Yeah. Ark Survival Evolved is there in the top 20. That's
Oh yeah, that's the real release for that game.
Actually, this might be interesting. Minecraft is number 20. Like
Slipping?
we might watch Minecraft drop out of the NPD top 20s, which would be crazy, actually.
Sure.
I don't know.
Shrug.
Yeah, well, Play Together, what is it called? Their new update, the Play, it's called the Play Together update.
Something.
Somewhere along those lines, yeah.
Yeah, Better Together update. I wonder if that was this month, and I wonder if that will help out. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think we might face a month without Minecraft in the top 20.
What will we do?
What will we do?
Minecraft 2.
No,
There's no reason for a Minecraft 2.
there's no reason for a Minecraft 2.
I mean, not now.
Not ever.
Not ever.
It's a constantly updated platform. Yeah,
you can grow that game forever.
Yeah. It's like EverQuest 2 and EverQuest 1 keeps going. Like, it's like, don't do it. Just stick with it.
Sure.
I could see them trying to do it for money, but
Yeah. It'd be a bad idea. You want to hear that?
Oh.
It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of October. iKeyless. Since 2002, iKeyless is specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off of dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use promo code EZA at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information or check them out on their successful Kickstarter. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at www.hoaglaw.com. Iron Harvest, a real-time strategy game for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, currently in development at King Art Games. Join their community and help them bring the alternate reality of 1920 plus to life. El Fanis. Jojo Dent Co., your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you're currently an EZA patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet at FastMower if you would like to have your minor door dings repaired free of charge. Mango. Jigarbov Productions. You've reached the voicemail of Tim Gehrig, CEO of Jigarbov Productions. Please leave a detailed message including your name, number, and reason for your call after the beep. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
The shuffle, click, click. Should he keep that as part of the message?
It's up to him.
After the beep.
His message can be the entire podcast up to that point.
that would be such a meta troll.
What am I?
What is it? What the hell?
Have you left a
this?
messing? Message yet? Like, I'm still going. It's like 20 minutes. I don't know.
These guys are funny though.
Did you?
These are funny guys.
Who are these
Yeah.
guys?
Did you know NBA was number 2 this month?
What are you talking about, Jake?
Jake, you know what? Let's do it. We got another fun game.
Fun game.
Because Xbox One added the Xbox games playability to that console this week. I'm gonna.
What?
What does that
I
mean?
know what he's talking about. Believe it or not.
That one is the headline. This week, console playability.
They added playability of these games?
Xbox games. You can play
on your
games now on the
One,
Xbox. Apparently.
you can now play original Xbox games.
Ah!
Oh,
OG Xbox.
they hadn't implemented that yet.
Nope. Announced at E3 and now finally implemented.
That plain one.
Okay.
Yep. The plain Xbox. And so yeah, that's kind of cool.
Airplane one.
Oh yeah, the Crimson Skies.
Crimson Skies.
That's on there.
Are we ruining your
oh,
game?
cool.
No. I'm gonna list off the games.
Oh.
And I like to make the switch. Don't make the switch. Like I like it. You got to say a phrase or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a good get or bad bet.
Okay.
Okay. So Blood Rain 2.
Bad bet.
Bad bet.
Yeah, fun game. Crimson Skies.
Good
Yeah,
get.
good get.
Dead to Rights.
Good get.
I don't know
Jones,
what
you
that
clearly
is.
remember that game.
I do.
What is that game?
It's you guys where you got the dog.
I
It's
remember
you-
the box
shooting
art.
people and you're like, go get him, and the dog runs up and he like grabs guns for you and brings them back.
Is it
Or,
open
like,
world? Is it open world city?
No.
Not open world at all.
okay.
Yeah, that's so yeah.
Got it. Fusion Frenzy.
Bad bet.
I don't even know what that is.
This is the game that was on the demo of Halo. It's a Mario Party-esque game, but you're all neon cool 20-year-olds.
Ooh, bad bet. Or good get.
A super 90s party game. I don't know if it's
That makes me into
Super
it.
90s party game post 2000?
Ooh, good get. I just want to make you happy, Kyle.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
a
what
good
you
get.
want from
What?
me.
Don't even say bad bet. Don't even say it. What are you about to say?
he's trashing on Blood Rain, but just all smiles for Fusion Frenzy.
Blood, what's it going to be?
Oh. I'm gonna go with bad bet.
Okay.
I don't know. The problem is like I know people that like that game, but like when it came out and when I played it, I was like, I don't. It's not for me.
All right.
I just remember the balls. I just remember the cover is like
Yes.
the big metal balls.
Yeah. I don't know. By the way, I don't know if I've ever played this outside of the demo that was on Halo.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Grabbed by the ghoulies.
Ooh, bad bet.
Bad bet.
Good get.
Nice. Ninja Gaiden Black.
Good
get.
get.
That's a good get.
Yeah.
Really good get.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Good
Good
get.
get.
Psychonauts.
Good
Good
get.
get.
Red Faction 2.
Good get.
Good get.
get,
Yeah.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Good
Oh,
get.
good get.
Great get.
Yeah, so we
yeah,
ended
yeah.
with a lot of good gets there.
Yeah.
I think
Good,
that's
good.
cool.
Nice.
I think that's way cool. Shoot, we'll talk about that more later in Love and Respect, I decided.
Okay.
Okay, all right. What, Star Wars?
No, the Xbox. That
the-
Xbox is allowing you to just. And here's the thing: you can buy them on the store. You can just shove in your old Xbox disc in your Xbox One. Xbox One says, "Oh, I know what that is. Downloading now."
Yes.
It downloads
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's the way it works for 360 as well. Like, that's so cool.
That's good.
I know what that old game is. They put an Xbox game in me, and I know what that is.
It's great.
That's great, and they're like even better than they are before. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna skip past Lego Dimensions is officially canceled. Okay, that's sad. That's
I mean,
news this
WB
week.
is skipping it too, so you can do it as
Yeah,
well. It's fine.
you know. The one thing,
So many of them over there.
the talking point I wanted
way.
to cover on that is that like Amiibo
all?
survived,
Except for Supergirl.
where everyone else died. Amiibo lives.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it
I
was
should have
never.
known. I should have known.
Yeah.
It's the only one that wasn't like tied to a thing.
Which is
Yeah, and
it's
that's why
it's
it's
yeah.
succeeded.
My biggest criticism was its greatest strength.
It's great strength. Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
All right.
literally just give us money. Yeah.
It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
Hi, allies! Nintendo has the Virtual Console and the new classic/mini versions of older consoles. Microsoft has limited but growing backwards compatibility for the Xbox One. And yet Sony doesn't seem to be doing anything to get older games playable on the PS4, save for the occasional remasters. What could or should Sony do to compete with these products? Or do they have enough going on that this shouldn't matter to them? Love and respect, Brian D.
I have a super dumb and practical idea that I've been thinking about a lot.
Oh, Jones, great.
Really dumb though. And
Impractical?
super impractical. Get ready. Gear up. Just be like, all right, next person. Release a console that plays PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 games.
All right, next. You walk into Sony, you're like, I got
I just think people have a lot. The systems were incredibly popular. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people still have their old PS1 and PS2 and PS3 discs, and it's getting to the point now where we had that issue tonight, where we were like, "Oh, who's got that PS3? Because yours isn't working right, and mine broke a long time ago.
Yeah.
through not mismanaged use. I'm really careful with my consoles. The HDMI was like, nope. Just one day, it just didn't send out a video signal. I still get audio on all my PS3, PS2, and PS1 games.
My network is being flaky on mine actually.
Ugh.
Actually,
I just think a lot of people
I'm
are in
weirdly
that
having a
position of-
better time with using Wi-Fi with it than trying to use an Ethernet cable.
My PS4, I have to use Wi-Fi. Ethernet sucks.
Really?
That might be my the little network switch next to it though.
Johns, in this idea of this console, does it have a hard drive? Can I digitally download games?
Potentially, yeah. But I mean, like the main draw is that your discs will work. You know, that like you have this huge library potentially of things that have little to no value if you don't have the right hardware to run them. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
no
it don't make no
scientist.
business sense. So dumb idea.
Well, I'm no scientist, but is that something they theoretically could do with a firmware update to the PS4? Just put like an emulator that recognizes discs in it?
I
So-
think PS2 can't. PS3. I think the problem is that those systems are all like extremely custom, extremely intricate. And so, yeah, it's such a completely different architecture. Whereas I think the Xbox consoles have been more similar. And then, like, the Wii to Wii U is, like, almost like the exact same architecture.
Right.
But with different, just more power or whatever. But Sony does have a thing. I forget what it's called.
PlayStation Now?
PlayStation Now.
A failed thing.
That's that's basically it.
Right.
That's basically their solution.
Their theory was
Right.
to let you rent or stream the games, the
Yeah.
old games. But it's like a bummer because it's like, I already own this. Why am
there's
I
no disc
paying
recognition with that
for
system.
it? Right,
Yeah.
right.
And the thing is maybe they've offered trials and I missed them, but I feel like when I was interested
yeah. They have a
in
couple.
PlayStation Now, it's like, well, I want to make sure this works
Yes.
before I spend money to
Mm-hmm.
buy a game or however the thing. And I when I was interested, there was no way to do that. I'd have to put down like $5 or $10. And I was like, you know what? Don't care enough to do that. So
Here's my problem, though. There's no nostalgia play there, Bloodworth. I want PS2. I want PlayStation 1. I want these adults who were babies playing these PS1 games. Now they have expendable income. I want them.
I mean, you see Clive Barker's Jericho? That looks like a pretty old game.
Did you?
I've seen
see
it.
Jericho?
I've seen Jericho.
That's actually 10 years old.
Yeah, I've seen Jericho.
The pricing on PS Now was bonkers, too.
I think it might
made
still
no
be
sense.
bonkers. Yeah.
Is it even still a thing?
It's still a thing. Oh, absolutely.
totally.
They don't like push it at all anymore.
So Ian, it's actually really weird. It's only on PS4
Yeah.
and PC now. I
Oh,
think.
right.
Yeah. They cut off a bunch of the old consoles that were streaming PS Now. They do stream PS4 games now, but there's no nostalgia play. I still can't play PS1 games. As a person with a broken PS3, I've potentially lost many PS1 games. Not only on that hard drive, but access to be able to play them.
That's what's so weird to me is that the PS3 was really into that. On the digital store, they had all those PS1 classics.
Yes.
Constant, yeah.
But it's like they're absent from PS4 entirely.
Yeah.
And it's like they're digital already. It can't be that hard to just port them over. I don't know. Like
Yeah. I
why
truly
was
wonder.
it so big back then? I mean, I think it's kind of like how Sony was just like, we're done with indies. Like, meh. Like,
Right.
they were just like, yeah, we're done with the nostalgia stuff. Like, yeah, we don't need it.
Well, I do think, too, with the PS1 classics, every PS3, you could just stick a PS1 disc in. So, like, again, like, that architecture somehow worked
Right. But
more
not PS2,
easily
yeah.
than the PS4 going all the way back to that.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Right. Didn't they just shove the hardware in? Like the PS1 hardware was just cheap enough that like they're
And
not
then,
even
like,
emulating it. It's like we got a PS1 in there.
There were early PS3s or PS2s that had like the, what was it called, the emotion chip or whatever that
was
would
PS3.
run. Yeah,
That's-
it would
yeah,
run
right.
PS2 games, but then the later ones didn't because they were like it cost too much.
That's why I bought my PS3 when I did.
Yeah.
Because, like, they announced that they were going to start, revising them and taking that. And I was like, oh, okay. I hadn't played that many PS2 games at the time. Like, let me get this so that I can
Very weird.
have one machine.
And it's even weirder than that is that there's a middle phase where there was a very valuable chip that's part of the PS2 that they took out So I can play many PS2 games, but not all of them.
Oh.
So there's the one that plays any PS2 game. Well, not any even. So there's still some. And then there's one that plays fewer PS2 games, and then there's the one that plays 0 PS2 games, but still PS1 games for some reason because it's just cheaper. Yeah, Ian, what I mean to say is that your vision of Sony as an optimized company, as a company that only spends money on the things that will make them money back, and if they're doing fine, they're doing fine.
Yeah.
That's the company that I don't believe cares about PS1 games.
No, they don't.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
Because I think there is money to be made. I think when you look at Nintendo, like, that's the thing, Ian. Just when we talk about the NPDs, where it's like Nintendo sold the most consoles.
Right.
There were more SNESs sold, and I think there were actually more Switches sold. But Sony made the most money, and they're like, well, we're good then, baby. Yeah.
I mean, I think kind of back to your idea, instead of Sony putting out like a PS Classic or whatever that was PS1, 2, and 3 that could play those discs or whatever, I mean, it's not unheard of for them to put out collections. Like, if they just put out like a PS1 Greats collection for like $80 that had like 40 games on it for the PS4, you know, that would sell like hotcakes, I bet.
I'd buy that.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd buy it.
Yeah.
And I imagine
And then you do a second one later. Now that's what I call PS1 games.
because
Number 5.
the way that you described the Xbox disc,
Yeah.
you're not playing the Xbox disc really.
No.
Right.
It's recognizing it and
Yeah.
then downloading the game.
It's a
So-
Windows like genuine Windows approval code.
That's the craziest thing. I can take that disc, go to a friend's house, and say, here you go. Here's Dead to Rights, bud.
Right.
My friend can download it. Microsoft simply doesn't care.
Do you need the disc to start it up after that, or never again?
Ooh, good question.
Because like that's how old PC games used to
Yeah,
work,
you
where it's
might
like
need
you
to.
just put the disc in. It's not using the disc. It's just verifying that you own the disc
Yeah.
to start the game.
You're right. For some reason, I assume once you download it, you always have it, but maybe it wants to check to see if you got that disc.
The other thing about that though is you can you go on the store and just buy those games then?
Yeah, $10.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's the play. It's
Yeah.
like you port them
It's
basically,
both.
and they work. You know, if you already own the game, okay, cool. If you
And
don't own the
that's-
game,
here it is.
Here it is.
That-
Yeah.
right.
That's why it's not actually backwards compatibility. It's just PS1 classics. It's just ports, and that's why there's so few. And like the compatibility thing is just that they added that really awesome thing that checks the disc, and it's like, oh yeah, here you get this for free.
Yeah.
Like they're just ports that it has a check, which is really cool.
Yeah. I think they're losing money at Microsoft for this initiative, and I think it is so cool. I think it's a cool thing for them to lose money on.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, hold on. We started with shoulds. We started with what they should do. I don't want to leave with like they're not gonna, because the truth is they're not gonna. Let's think of more alternatives. Blood. What is the product Sony should make? Is there such thing as a little PS1 classic?
Oh,
that'd
for
be
sure.
awesome.
Yeah. They could do PS1 Classic, have Final Fantasy VII and Spyro and Metal Gear,
Ape
like
Escape.
Twist Metal.
yeah.
Silent Hill.
Yeah.
And just no discs. That's the thing
Yeah.
I don't like about your thing, Jones, is it's just like, I feel like it could be smaller and more compact, just no discs. I feel like that could work almost.
yeah.
But
It could
wireless
totally work.
controllers.
Do you ever see that kind of, I gotta stop. Do you ever see that happening? Would that be successful though? Would that sell?
It would sell, I think. I do think it would be more expensive on Sony's end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think like they don't even have Crash. You know, like they have to get Activision to do that. So it's
Yeah.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, they'd have to pay
Nintendo
more
could
licenses.
load up that library with their own games and
Yeah.
and then have some of the other big ones to supplement.
Yeah.
But like how many Square again like
Tony Hawk. Like,
Right, right.
Tony Hawk can't come back.
I bet if they did it, it would cost $120 for that little console.
And I would buy it.
$99.99.
But I don't
Ooh,
think
yeah.
they're interested. I really don't. Okay. Here's
Which
an
is
easy
funny
one.
because they put out like 8 versions of every console. You know,
Yeah,
like,
but,
there's the Slim, there's the Plus, there's the.
When they do that, it's because like it's cheaper to manufacture.
right.
Again,
Sure.
it's just optimizing.
Right,
It's
yeah.
optimizing.
They're like, we got better at doing this.
Yeah. Revelo asks, so the new Switch adds GameCube controller support. Thank you for putting in the thing there, the news story. Interesting. Via the dock using the Wii U connected device, which was USB, and then it's got 4 little controller slots on it. That's pretty cool. Which Nintendo didn't announce. People just tried it out, and it totally works. Because there was an update. There was that big update.
Right.
And so that's just a new feature. It was found by data miners. What does this mean? If we've got our
Bros.
conspiracy theory hats on, does that, Ian? Yeah, could a Smash announcement be near? Why else would you add support for something that is only for something that isn't on your system yet? ... Love and respect. That's from Revelo.
I mean, the clear thing would be for Smash.
Yeah.
And that either means a new Smash or virtual console with Smash, old Smash.
Yes, that's the other thing. Is this could mean GameCube compatibility, GameCube
Right.
backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that was a rumor for a long time, was the GameCube coming to Virtual Console.
That'd
Which
be cool.
we've heard nothing about a Virtual Console whatsoever, especially nothing about GameCube games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched the video of somebody playing Fire Emblem Warriors with it, and even though it doesn't have quite as many buttons and functions as a Pro Controller, it seemed to work just fine.
Whoa. Huh. Really?
Yeah.
Because even on the Wii U, it was like, this will only work for Smash.
Yeah.
And so people are just using this.
And they don't call it a GameCube controller, they just call it like a USB controller or something like that.
Huh. So this is something that Nintendo actively worked to make work on this new firmware update. Yeah, draft your tweets now. January Nintendo Direct, they're announcing a new Smash Brothers is what I think. But it's interesting that it works with other games. I don't know, man. Maybe we do have a virtual console announcement as well.
Because didn't they say they're not going to announce anything about Virtual Console period until 2018?
Yes.
Yeah, that could be it.
Cool.
I think that would be a little bit more likely than a new Smash now.
Yeah. I think they would do them at the same time. Maybe. Yeah.
The thing is, they love making Smash announcements, right?
Yeah.
And so, the game could be far off. If it's a new game, extremely far off. If it's an update, maybe fall of next year. But yeah, Jones, they every time Nintendo makes a new console, they love putting a Smash announcement on top of it because they know it makes people excited.
I like the Switch.
I like the Switch despite it not having a Smash game. It's like, it's good, baby. You know what's weird? The people listening to this podcast potentially have played Super Mario Odyssey. Like, they're in a whole other world than I am.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
you wonderful people.
right. I feel like I'm in
You
this,
beautiful people.
I'm in a weird glass box, and
Yeah.
you're out in an interesting universe.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'll catch up with you. I'll be there with you eventually. But in this time capsule, and where I am right now, I'm so far away.
You saying that made me feel a lot of really weird, conflicting emotions. I became very aware of time,
I'm
Yeah.
always very aware of time.
which makes me like kind of happy, but also pretty depressed. And then like, just the hope for Mario and picturing myself having been in that reality is really great. But then I'm not
All
there.
right, we just transitioned into a love and respect that I didn't pull, but I'll find you and I'll give you credit next week. Someone just wanted to know from this point right now what our hopes and dreams are for Super Mario Odyssey. And they don't have to be specific. It could be a week later, how is it received? It could be like, what is its legacy? Or
Yeah.
it could be, I hope I wear a hat that looks like blank.
I think one of the things that has blown me away so much this year about Zelda is that we're still learning things about that game. Somebody put up a video today of throwing the boomerang and then grabbing the boomerang with magnesis, and then it doesn't stop spinning, and then you just use it as a chainsaw and just kill everybody.
Whoa! Yeah. Yes.
And that's not a glitch. That
Yeah.
is a tool. That is a trick someone used using the physical properties in the game the way they are described.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're so many months after that, and so many other incredible games are coming out now. I mean, even just this month in October, it's like, oh my god, this week it's like 3 heavy hitters. That we're still finding out about stuff like that. I hope that, and even more for Odyssey, that it's going to be October of 2018. It's going to be like, did you know in the desert level there's a thing over there? Like, yeah. I think that's what separates some of the stuff when Nintendo really puts a lot of effort and really puts their best foot forward with games. I think that's the difference.
That's great, Jones. Yeah.
That they outlast that stuff just purely because there's just those games are so dense.
Yeah.
And clever.
They got the magic. I hope the camera's not awkward ever.
That's a good hope. That's a fair hope.
That was my biggest surprise with Sunshine when we played that. I was like, ooh, this game is really fun, and it's better than I remember. But man, that camera was combative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like my worry.
Okay.
Like I hope I don't like miss a jump because the camera was misleading or something.
We're all gonna miss some jumps.
Oh yeah, but I mean like we're in the 3D Marios, like especially in the 3D one where it was like that I made that. That was there.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that sometimes. It's like, come on. I
Yeah.
knew. I
Yeah.
know. You know what I wanted. Yeah.
Right.
Bloodworth, your hopes and dreams.
I'll keep it simple. I hope Nintendo didn't show us all the worlds.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I haven't seen all the things you can put the hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And All the Worlds is really interesting. I hope you haven't seen All the Worlds too, Blood.
I hope they also make it very apparent that the people like being non-consensually possessed. Like,
Oh.
because you're taking over human beings. It's weird. It's a little weird.
We haven't seen a spooky level, have we? We haven't seen a haunted
Yeah, we
house.
have.
Briefly.
That's
I
one of the
thought.
first one they showed in that first trailer.
Oh, okay. Because I know we've seen ghosts, but I don't know. Okay.
Jones.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Boos. We've seen boos.
Oh, okay.
Those lovable little floating, you know.
Ghost-like apparitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally, I know I was media blackout for the more recent trailers.
Wise. That was wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed too much.
Yeah, my hope is it's just got a legacy that we continue to talk about this game for 5 years. That it doesn't get an Odyssey 2. I honestly hope that. I hope there is no Odyssey 2.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that Nintendo is rewarded for going out there with Mario, for not making a cheap and easy new Mario that they
Yeah.
could have just released. I hope that it's just received as well as it could be, and that it just keeps the Switch train rolling, and Nintendo sees money for their efforts. That's what I really hope.
I hope that there's a surprise, like a big surprise in it.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe we feel like they showed us so much because there's some like 60% of the way through, like things like shift in some crazy way.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, Zelda didn't really have the big surprise. It just had thousands of little surprises.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good way to put it.
Yeah. And there was very little to spoil for Zelda, but there were so many things to spoil for Zelda in a weird way.
Right.
It's crazy. Cool. I will get you next week. I'm so sorry that I forgot who submitted that. And it turned out to be a fun discussion point, so I clearly should have pulled it the first time. Thank you. That is love and respect. It is now time for bets.
Woo!
Next week's bet is about this crazy Friday that we have coming up, in which Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, and Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, are all coming out on the same day, Friday, October 27th. Let me preface this. This is another Don bet.
Don conceived.
Yes. Obviously,
You'll be able to tell.
I was salty about the last one, but it turned out to be a great bet. It turned out to be very fun. So we have another Don-conceived bet. If we go to opencritic.com and check the most recent review for all three of those games, which will have the most words, which will have the least amount of words, and what will the difference be in word count between those two reviews? So, Jones, among those three games coming out on Friday, which will have the most words in the most recent review?
Assassin's Creed.
Which will have the least?
Wolfenstein.
And what will the word difference be?
250 words.
Okay. Ian, which of those three games will have the most words in its most recent review?
I think that Mario will have the most.
Okay. Which will have the least?
Wolfenstein 2 will have the least.
And what will the word difference be?
343.
Cool. Daniel Bloodworth.
I think Mario will have the most. Wolfenstein will have the least. The difference is 300.
Woo!
Oh, so Ian had the same two, and what was your number?
343.
300 and 343.
I kind of backpedaled. I kind of changed that after my first guess, but so hopefully I don't regret that.
They're going to gush about Mario. Wolfenstein's going to be fine, so they won't have that much
I
to
think
say
the
about
spoilers. I think they're not going to want to spoil too much. You gush too much, you
that's
spoil too
interesting,
much in
Jones.
Mario.
True.
Whereas I think they're just like, I don't know about this Assassin's combat. And
Oh, yeah. They're going to
to
complain about Assassins a lot.
Whereas
You can't-
Wolfenstein 2
you-
with spoilers is so story
Brandon,
focused. Like I think
Brandon.
people will be like, it's good for like first game.
Thursday, 9 p.m., the internet will be spoiler fest. There will be
Oh,
spoilers
sure. No,
like
yeah, but we're not.
constant.
We're not going to spoiler fest land. We're going to the reviews.
Open Critic.
They're still going to be in there.
So Don's bet, which I opened for my own by accident, he says Wolfenstein will have the most. He said Assassin's Creed Origins will have the least, and he says the word difference will be 252. And then finally,
Interesting.
my
Flipped
bet.
mine, interestingly.
I also think Super Mario Odyssey will have the most. I think people can't wait to sing about it. I think Assassin's Creed Origins will have the least because I think you know what it is already. There's the least amount to explain, and I think the word difference will be 310. Let me lock those in. Fun bet, Don.
Look adding that up.
What's up? Good luck
adding
that.
all of that up. Kyle.
No, I think I'll just
That won't
copy it
take
into
long.
a
Copy
document.
them into a
Word doc.
document.
Yeah, that'll
It's
be
only
fine.
3
He's not
reviews.
counting the words.
Yeah. Last week's bet was about Fire Emblem Warriors, which released last Friday on October 20th. We made a bet about what the file size would be for that game. Jones, you bet 8 gigs. Blood, you bet 3.8 gigs. Damiani bet 5.6 gigs. I bet 5.9 gigs. And the actual amount of the European version, which was the only one we could find,
Wow.
13.1 gigs.
Whoa, big old game.
That's
Wow.
a win for Jones, which we will correct if it turns out the U.S. version is a different size than the
They
European
won't be
version.
that much
Is,
of a
is,
Yeah.
is
difference.
5-6 gigs lighter?
yeah.
But
This
actually,
is a whole act that's not in
Because
it.
the languages, right?
voice tracks
Yeah.
could be.
Jones is too ready to celebrate. Don't take it away from him. He's won for this week. Blood is ready to fact check.
Interesting.
Blood is not buying this right now. Blood, I couldn't find it. Even Damiani, we were like looking online. All we could find is the European version of what the file size is.
Strange.
And we tried to get Jones's Switch online. Did you ever get your
I
Switch
still
online?
have an unclaimed copy of that game.
Yeah, we were. It was the HDMI wasn't activating on the
If-
TV. When they
if-
like plugged it in the dock.
What?
It
If
was.
nobody else wants
But
it,
you could
Jones
just-
wants the
Triggering the
fact
TV.
check.
But it's a
You could do
Switch.
it.
You could just take it out of the
You
dock.
want to just look it up right now? Just boot up the store.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi?
Take
Let's
it
do
out of the
it.
dock.
Let's do it live. So in the meantime, this is insane. Okay, we could do another love and respect question.
Sure.
Want to do a bonus love and respect?
Sure.
Okay.
Steamroll Dig, baby.
I
Yeah.
gotta finish that.
It's a good game.
All right, this is a fun one. Hi, allies. After watching last week's excellent visceral discussion, it left me with a question, which I'd love to get the panelists' thoughts on. What do you do to, or how do you make an innovative single-player new IP sell in 2017? Love and respect, Dinesh. How do you make one sell?
A new IP, not
IP.
one with a Star Wars license?
Yeah, that's the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a new IP. Yeah, that's my first question. My first response. Like, yeah, you make it a Star Wars game.
Right, yeah, that's like, it's a Star Wars. So, like, Anthem wouldn't count because it's Destiny.
Yeah. I think it's a great question.
And it can't be a new...
I mean, the
It's
way you
not
make
a-
any new. I mean, you just make an interesting new IP. It's,
Right.
It's
Quality.
it's a dumb thing. It's not easy to do, but it's also the easy answer. You know, it's like you make something that people are going to be interested in.
Do you think that there are a lot of quality games that don't sell well in the video games world right now?
Oh, for sure.
Well, then I would say no. Quality is not the answer, Blood.
But I didn't say just quality.
Well, then what else?
The people like that it's an appealing, it's an attractive concept, character, whatever that.
Because that's what I
hook
want
is
to dig
gonna
in.
be.
Actually,
Right.
is the hook. I think a game needs a hook. I think it needs to look different than any other game. If it's going to be huge, if you're making a new IP that's going to be very successful, I think it can't look like Call of Duty. I think it has to look different.
Right.
There's got to be something. Like I think Hellblade looks very different.
Right. I was going to say, are we just thinking AAA or are we thinking indie as well?
I think we're thinking AAA.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, that
because
sounds
it's
like
about
AAA,
selling.
yeah.
Right.
But why? What do you think about indie? What do you
Well,
mean?
because I was just saying, like, indie is the perfect nexus of interesting hook, good price point, and, like, some influencer or whatever getting you good word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then you just blow up. Mm-hmm. That's how you do that. But with a AAA, yeah, it's much harder. You have to have, like you were saying, it's got to be quality. It's got to be interesting and new. And then you've got to have, like, somebody's voice that people are like, oh, yeah.
Well,
I don't think people actually care that much about the voice,
yeah, maybe they don't.
again, like you want like a character that looks like an interesting person. You know, you don't want just sterile, stone-faced guy. So yeah, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, but at the same time, it's an easy answer because like you just make a story or a character or a gameplay mechanic that's worth caring about.
Yeah, I think it's scary. If I were a publisher, I'd be terrified to fund a new IP for a single player game. I get it. It's hard to do. You need someone brilliant on your team.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of also, like, I think Mirror's Edge is a good example of a game that people are interested in, but both times it didn't really nail it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that story, that's a thing you just want to skip so you can play the game, and you blew it because you had a great looking character. Like, that is an iconic character. Like, people were interested in that character, and then it's like, oh, I don't care about what she wants to do.
I got a question for the panel. Do you think we will see a third-party publisher announce a new single-player IP before the end of the generation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. I kind of don't think it'll happen.
That's a bleak reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the level of Ubisoft and Activision, EA, Square Enix.
Yeah.
I think
would-
Ubisoft is the most
Ubisoft
likely.
would. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I would not be surprised if Ubisoft.
A
did.
new single-player IP.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, sure, they made Watch Dogs. I don't know if they've had any other single-player IP this generation.
It might be something more along the lines of like the UB Art stuff too, where it's like a little smaller.
Yeah, isn't it weird the UB Art stuff is so dead?
That is weird. I was really excited for those to pick up.
Yeah.
Rayman Legends, Child of Light, and then it was gone. I feel like.
How
Oh, and that-
successful was Let It
Valiant
Die?
Hearts
Valiant
even.
Hearts, yeah.
Do we know if
Let
Let It
It
Die
Die,
was successful?
I
Like
think it
I know
did
we talked about
okay.
it. You were super excited about it.
Yeah.
Until
Like,
I
did
hit
that
the
business model work
paywall.
out?
That's a
'Cause
really
I thought
good
that was
question,
really,
Jones.
I thought
I
that was
think it
really
did.
interesting. Like a lot of people when that game first came out, like it's interesting to me if you have a game like that that is that's supported entirely by microtransactions.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, this is great. I mean, it's a really interesting experiment, with this kind of model. And then you have like a single player game that has like microtransactions on the side, and that's this like massive
Right.
offense. So
Because Let It Die was always upfront about it. They were like,
Bingo,
"Hey, we're
exactly,
monsters."
and I wonder, if it pays to make something that is free to play or microtransactions heavy and make it super goofy, make
Right.
it really upfront, kind of in a Dead or Alive kind of way, where it's just like, there is a ton of randomness to this, and but you're getting really weird costumes and goofy stuff.
What is the mutant game? The mutant raccoon?
Biomutant.
Oh, there you go.
Biomutant is a single-player new IP,
Yeah,
and it's got an immediate hook. It has a character that looks so different from anything else we're playing. I mean, it's Rocket
Rocket
Raccoon.
Raccoon. I was
But
saying
yeah,
Rocket
yeah, yeah.
Raccoon.
But from other
But
video
it
games.
doesn't necessarily always look like that, right? Like he can.
He could be green, but he's still Rocket Raccoon.
Okay.
right.
Yeah. You can change his fur 1,000 times. That's Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, so I think that it's a good case point. I wonder how it will do.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really do.
Again, it's like what Blood says. It depends on how good the gameplay is, how good it is. Like
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge should have been amazing because the concept is great and they just didn't nail the execution.
Sure. Good
You know?
hook, bad execution. I get
Right.
that, yeah.
So it's like if Biomutant is good,
yeah.
it should do fine.
Sure.
Hopefully.
Oh, and then something that people brought up as a very good point last week is, like market your game, but don't overspend on your marketing.
Right.
It's like
Yes.
with, Dead Space, apparently, it's just
That 60 mil.
half of that
Yeah.
budget being marketing. It's like, well,
Woof.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
A lot of it is
that's hard
luck.
too. Yeah.
A lot of it is like hitting at the right time without the wrong kind of competition. It's magic.
magic.
It's luck and like you can make the best thing and it could just die on the vine,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I feel like Ghost Recon Wildlands is like that. It's like, really, like lots of people are playing this game and loving this. Like I feel no hook, I feel no attachment to like anything that's going on. You just got a big old open world and you go around and like take down drug cartels, and that was it. That was enough. People love it.
Yep.
Jones loves it. So there you go.
Seem condescending for some reason.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just weird.
the
It's-
morons
I get
love
it.
that game.
I get
Jones
it.
loves that game.
I get it.
All right, Jones, you've done some research. What do you have for us?
Oh, I won, baby.
Okay, tell us.
13.1.
All right.
Woo,
On
America.
the official Switch store on my Switch.
Yeah, because I think
the game
all
information.
versions of it have all the languages.
And it says
Yeah.
all the languages in the description as well.
Oh, okay.
It lists more languages than English.
Great.
Anthony English Store.
So, Jones, because you won the bet, you get... No, not yet. Come on, Kyle. You're doing the podcast for so many episodes. Why are you still bad at this?
Because we just doubled back on Love and Respect. It's all.
I'm
You got
thrown off.
you got
It's all haywire
bamboozled.
right now.
Temporally, I'm
Yeah.
blasted. Okay, so...
What did they say in Jericho? The temporal aberration or something?
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
something like that.
I'm a temporal aberration.
Oh, it's like a ghost.
Okay, so EasyAllies.com is a cool website to go to see what else we do. It's not just this podcast. We do previews, reviews, podcasts, other podcasts besides this podcast, tabletop games. We do betting specials. Look out
Live
for
streams.
Paris Games Week coming up. Yep, twitch.tv/EasyAllies is a good place to go to check out our live streams, but on EasyAllies.com, schedule for everything we're doing. Live streams, videos, everything is a really cool place to go.
Actually,
there
probably
for your
won't
time zone.
see previews there very often. on
Yeah,
the website
I don't know why I
itself.
include it so much. What we
Yeah.
do, we do like 1 or 2 previews a month.
If
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like every
Yeah.
2 or 3
And
months.
the thing is because previews are like kind of like they kind of have an expiration date in a way. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense for me to put like a previews playlist on there because we've already reviewed half of those games. So
Yeah. So honestly, listeners, like if you like previews, Easy Allies probably isn't for you.
I mean, I like doing previews for sure. Like the ones that I've done the past few months with Ubisoft and Bethesda and stuff. Like that's been great. It is one of these weird things where like you
Still
hit
pay to
it and then
sort
it's
it, yeah.
it's gone and people know it because the game is out.
So youtube.com/Easy Allies really is the place to go because you can sub to it and then you can get those previews the day they come out and you're alerted to it. And patreon.com/Easy Allies is where you would go to see our Patreon, which is how we're supported primarily, how we make most of the money that we do and how we exist and subsist. Check those things out. Goals. Daniel Bloodworth, how did you do on your goal of whenever you hear an airplane, you transform into King Kong and you have to swat 2 out of 3 planes, right?
3 planes
I had a
total.
swat. I had a swat, and
out of
I
3.
blew it.
there aren't any planes.
Did you hear a plane?
When you said, "Did you hear that?" I heard it like just leaving. I'm like, "Oh, that was it," and I missed it.
But you were professional and decided not to interrupt podcast halftime, which is sacred. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you didn't.
Would helicopters have counted?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And I wonder if, because the helicopters will make passes, if they're looking for somebody,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
wonder if like is a pass like, wow, that's the same helicopter. You already swatted that one.
That would have been the best podcast we've ever had if Blood had to get up 5 times during transforming into King Kong.
Yeah.
Ian, how'd you do on your goal of tapping your nose 3 times?
Please come back to that.
Without anybody
goal
noticing.
someday.
Did you guys notice?
I didn't notice. Jones, you notice?
I didn't. Damn it.
Blood, you notice?
No.
Mission
Then I did
accomplished.
fine. It
Nice.
was during the NPD discussion before Grand Theft Auto, I think.
Okay.
In there somewhere.
Snuck it in.
Well, I'm gonna look for it now.
Yeah.
Can I put a little like ding in the?
If
I'm
you
not
feel
going
like
to, but
taking
no.
that time, it's up to you.
It'd be nice for the listeners because they'll have no idea.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
I intentionally did the left side because I thought
Oh.
Jones would be less
That
likely to
is
notice it.
very clever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jones, how'd you do on your goal?
I did it.
What was your goal?
To not mention Animal Crossing on Switch.
Oh, yeah.
To keep it focused.
I would have. All right, so now that we're past goals, making the Switch in the next year.
No, I did. Well, not being announced. I doubt it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if we go through next year E3 and nothing.
I'd be surprised.
Because they got a game. Why are they gonna?
They've got
They're
one.
gonna push this mobile game.
Oh, because I think the mobile game is
But
clearly
that's-
side story. Yeah. I think
That's
I
the
think,
bridge.
Gaiden,
That's their
yeah.
But it's a
whole mobile
money-making
strategy.
side story. I think the Fire Emblem audience, when you look at Fire Emblem, it's like, oh, look at this weird Fire Emblem for mobile that I can play, when I'm at the bus station or whether I'm at the DMV or whatever like that. But I'm gonna go back to my multiple Fire Emblem games that come out at a consistent schedule. This is Animal Crossing. This is it. That's your Animal Crossing game. So I feel, and same with Mario. It's like we have different Mario games all the time. We got Rabbids and all, like Mario's, kicking. It's just Animal Crossing is this weird, like, nope, hold it back. And so I think now that we've gotten this game and seeing how much more advanced it was, like I was totally expecting just like a weird marketplace, something that was kind of like prepping us for the Animal Crossing. This is a sequel to Animal Crossing. This is, I think, deserves a place along with all of the other franchises. This was like, oh, they're kicking that can way down the road.
Jones,
Because they're like, why would I make you spend $60 for this game that is going to make you want to play the mobile game less?
What about-
That's my major thing is I have no
Time in.
investment.
Time to
I have
get
a
it.
much more of an investment in a village in Animal Crossing than I do in a campsite.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play that game and it'll be fun, but I'm not going to like, oh, okay, I got to get that butterfly because it's just a weird campsite. Whereas like when I get my town, I live here and these people live with me. My friend's house is right over there. I really want to get the butterflies for that museum because my cat friend is going to go to the museum and check it out. I know none of this is real. This is just weirdo game logic, but like that's why those worlds are immersive for me because I live there.
that the Switch game will make the mobile game obsolete. Is what you're
Correct.
saying? Yeah.
I don't think so at all.
Not obsolete, but I
It
think
will, yeah.
I think
If you're playing both.
I think it's a little messier to have a console Animal Crossing game and that mobile game that I just saw a trailer for today exist at the same time. Not so much with Fire Emblem. I think you can have a lesser mobile game that has less features existing at the same time as a console game.
Unless they give you the option to import your camping character into your regular game.
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
they can go
Yeah.
camping.
They're gonna go back
It's
and
tied
forth.
in. You like anytime you're on the phone, it's your character's camping.
Did you ever do the
And then you go
the
back
Game
to the
Boy Island on the GameCube
console.
game?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So something similar along those lines.
That'd be so doable because of the way the My Nintendo Network works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those games are very
They can link
all the
them.
mobile games are very connected to everything.
And it's just
And then
anytime
he's
you're
like,
not
you're
by
all-
your thing,
yeah.
you're camping.
Wow.
It's also me just being good to myself, like not anticipating. You know,
Yeah, sure,
that
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because like, think about this. In the Switch version, we will be able to design our shirts. I'm gonna make a shirt that says Easy A on it. You're telling me
Yeah.
at one point, my Easy A character will be able to go on a little camping trip?
Yeah.
I think it's all gonna cross-populate very naturally.
We live in the future, baby. It's about time.
And I think, what's out right now is in this mobile game is not going to be the full extent of the game, and there's going to be additional things that pop in based on what the Switch game has. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's within the next 6 months,
Okay.
because you want to hit it while that mobile game is like still something people are playing.
Yeah, I think they're gonna blow us away with a Nintendo Direct in January. And I think we see Smash Brothers. I think we see Metroid Prime 4, and I think we see.
I think
Animal
Metroid
Crossing.
Prime is going to be E3.
Sure, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I think they're
Most
going
likely.
to blow it out in E3.
Cool.
What if
Like
you make
they
that?
they build like the planet or something like they did with Mario in the New Donk City.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
I'm really curious what the first 2 quarters look like, though, because I don't think they've said much about them.
They haven't.
And they've been pretty good about putting like a game out every month or at least every 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why it's surprising Xenoblade Chronicles came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is for the next year. So yeah, that January is gonna be heavy. My goal was to not think about ghosts. I thought about ghosts probably over 30 times throughout this process. And that's it. Jones, since
Yeah.
you won the bet, you get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with throughout this podcast, you want to reiterate, or just a thing you just thought up just now. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
You can follow me at Trailer Jones. Can I talk about what Dawn is working on right now? That video that is soon to be posted. You alluded to the script earlier, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
are we okay to talk about that?
Whoa.
Don's working on a hard project right
sure.
now.
Yeah.
Don's working on the Assassin's Creed Origins review that Michael Huber played and wrote, and given some technical hurdles just with the handling of the footage.
4K footage.
It's a tough edit for Don.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
Don's-
publishing in 4K?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll go up in 4K. Unless
so-
there's something weird that happens.
which is is something that would be great if we did for everything, but it is a bit of a hassle. It's you're dealing with stuff that like just a metric ton of just all of this
Files so big you
file
can't
size.
transfer them.
Yeah. So Don's amazing because Don does hard work, and Don rarely, if ever, complains about anything. And Don just is really good to us. So thank you, Don, for putting that together. And I'll thank you as well for cutting reviews and stuff like that late.
I'm no Don. you know?
This is yeah. All of us aspire to be, but can never be.
Right.
It's the harsh reality of life.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put my coin in. I'm gonna put my chips on the table in the side that says "Ghosts are real." I'll do that. I'll go forward and say that it doesn't necessarily have to be. You don't think of them as like evil spirits per se. It's not like if you watch like Ghost Hunters or something like that, and like something gets knocked off the table. It's not like I don't imagine like some ghost being like hey, poke. I just imagine like. There. If you believe in other dimensions, in infinite dimensions, maybe there's dimensions that are crossing over ours. Maybe when you see spirits, that's actually a living person in another dimension, and that was just a moment where you just observed that spiritual energy passing through. So you can conceive of it that way, or you can think that they're evil and standing behind Kyle right now. Cheers. I am enjoying these microtransactions.